Me, same clothes, same chair. We're here wrapping up the last four lessons for financial advisors based off Jack Bogle, founder of Vanguard's Life. Let's go. So last week we touched on the first three lessons of Jack Bogle, who just recently passed away, lessons for financial advisors. We wanted to wrap that up in this week's commentary. Again, for those of you who are wondering, that's same blue shirt, Tim, same blue sweater, but where the heck are you now? We're sitting here in Victory Media's offices. Dan and I have been doing some meeting. Maybe we can pan over to Dan. You can say hi real quick, Dan.
Hey.
But we want to get through. The point being here, read a great article again by Matt Oeshi on looking at 7 lessons, looking at Jack Bogle's life that would be helpful for financial advisors. Spent a lot of time reflecting on it personally, spent a lot of time talking about it with our colleagues. We really want to think about how is that relating to us? Where are we doing things right? And we need to make sure we keep doing it that way. Where do we need to put more time and attention and effort? So we're walking through kind of what his lessons were, how they relate to 10 Capital. Last week we covered humility, being client-centric, and then again setting realistic expectations up front with your clients to best serve them. Number 4 on that list, where we'll pick it up this week, is having a great moral compass as an advisor. This is one where I can get worked up, maybe even be a little too negative about our industries or competitors, but it really is about this. It bothers me. I don't like, you tell someone you're a financial advisor, the connotations, the thoughts, the things that come up. Because again, too many people, too many companies within this industry for far too long have been predicated on their success, taking advantage of clients, trying to pull fast ones over, or just straight outright fraud. When there are, again, and we certainly believe we are at 10 Capital, people who got into this industry to help, to take the talents that they had and have cultivated to be able to do right by other people. And while we may know crazy stories about, again, those frauds, it can be little things like selling someone an expensive product that they don't need. It could even be about pretending to do something that you don't know how to do. A whole bunch of people out there whose value proposition is trying to outpick the stock of the S&P 500 when can they really do it? Is that really the best thing for clients in terms of their time, attention, if you're a financial advisor? And so one of the things we repeat all the time, again, here at 10 Capital, is stick to what we know how to do, partner with those people who may have expertise outside ourselves, but again, staying in our lane. Second thing, though, is about transparency. Transparency for us, as we try to do in that State of the Union, it can be about fees. Yes, it can be about the process, setting realistic expectations. But transparency can also be about the struggles, the things we're going through. When we asked clients a year ago, what do you want to know when we do these videos and vignettes? So we want to know about you. What's going on at the company? What's going on within the industry, as well as what might be going on in the markets. And so we're really trying to, again, through this, share who we are, share where we're at in the journey, what we're struggling with or trying to improve, and what we hopefully have as successes that are bringing meaning to your life if you're a client of the firm. Number 5 is keep things simple. This is something I was so guilty of not doing for a really long time. I have an analogy you might have heard if you've been in my offices around the milk cow and how we're going to build you this milk cow of a portfolio that gives you the milk you need, and don't worry about the crazy neighbor, aka Mr. Market, that's walking by daily yelling out a price for your cow. That analogy, simple, cliche, I worried it might even be patronizing, has meant more to more people than probably about anything else that I've said. But Jack Bogle's words again of keeping things simple, helping empower clients, not trying to have them work with you out of some feeling of fear and necessity, but out of empowerment and joy and partnership, is something that I think comes out of keeping it simple, and we try very hard to keep that in mind. So yes, it's about the planning process and the card exercise that we've gone through that people have found so much value in, understanding portfolio strategies with things like the milk cow example, to ongoing communications like this to hopefully always keep people in the know around where we're at, and keep things for them simple in that regard. Number 6, Boldness. This is something I think we've definitely been accused of. It doesn't come from any sense of bravado or arrogance, but really, again, and this was something they talked about, being a disruptor. Vanguard certainly was a disruptor in the industry in many, many respects, helping bring transparency, helping bring more fair pricing to a lot of clients. For us, again, it's about sticking to our process, being honest, yes, being a disruptor, but for all the right reasons. When we started doing events, which people thought was really bold for this new company to be throwing these big things, it wasn't to market. It really wasn't the first impression. It wasn't to try to just create some splash. It was an understanding that to be a firm that was going to provide great value for our clients and communities for decades, not days, we needed to build strong fundamental relationships on both the individual and the collective level. And that was, again, a thing that had been done before, but not how I think we've brought it to bear. Even our planning process, not starting with these solutions, but taking the time to really build out that planning process is something that's critical. That dovetails, I think, really nicely into point number 7, that last one, that be about self-actualization, not greed. We want to help our clients understand what's possible, not just make and die with the most money that they possibly can, but live the lives today with those that they care about and those causes that they care about that bring them purpose and bring value. How does that tie back into the thing? When you look, my last point about planning, if you look at our planning process, it is not predicated on efficiency. It's predicated on effectiveness. And so when you go into a lot of places, again, financial services or otherwise, and they're telling you about their super smart this or their magical that, they're wanting to skip to the end and hurry up, sell you something and get on to the next thing. We try to take a lot of time up front, not only through the events, but then on an individual level with our clients of understanding what makes you tick, what it's going to take to help that become actualized, and then start to looking for solutions that map to that with no, again, financial or emotional conflicts of interest vis-a-vis you, the client. So I think, again, that's so critical. The last part about self-actualization versus greed or money relates back to something I talked about earlier in terms of as we succeed, having the humility to understand that's because of you, the client, honoring us with your work and your loyalty and paying that back, not just being something that goes into our pocket, but something that helps enhance the client experience all the time, knowing that if we take great care of you today, you're going to be the reason we're taken care of tomorrow. And that's that, again, symbiotic relationship that can do so much good for all of us. So with that, 7 lessons from Jack Bogle around who guys and gals in our line of work should be and how we're trying to live those out for you at 10 Capital. Thanks so much for joining me.